is going on, you guys? Today is part 11, I think, of the summer cut series that we're doing. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. My name is Blaine Riley. We're doing just a summer shred series, shredding down for the summer. I do it every summer. I'm sure a lot of you guys do it as well. But just bringing you guys along, giving you advice, showing you what I'm doing. So starting out, we usually try to get one weigh-in in each video, so that's what we're about to do. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Legion, just because I was about to take my fat burners. So this is their stem-free fat burner, but they also have stem fat burners and a bunch of awesome supplements. So if you want some dope supplements, they tell you everything that's in them. You can see the label on the back. They tell you like the amount of every ingredient inside of them. So if you're really specific and want to know everything, go check them out. Code Riley for 20% off. Gonna drink these with some coffee and then do cardio after we weigh in. And that's kind of how I've been starting my morning. Cardio, Bible, taking my fat burner, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Feeling pretty lean. We'll see what we are. Last week before my cheat meal, I was 202, which is the all-time low for the cut so far. And that was midday, like right after I worked out. So we'll see what we are now. I'm obviously probably a little heavier after the cheat meal, and also just because like it's midday, I haven't worked out. But let's go ahead and see. What's cool about my scale is it actually connects to my phone and tells you like your BMI, your body fat, things like that. So I need to reconnect it so I can see all that. There it is. All right, so 209, kind of what I expected. Not as low as I would like it to be, but I also know that I've been eating a lot of food at night. So compared to normal, or the normal person who usually wakes up, lighter, I've been waking up heavier and then getting lighter throughout the day, up until I eat a majority of my food at night. So it's kind of hard to gauge whether or not I'm losing weight. Leanness wise, like I'm getting leaner. So it's just kind of a mental game, trying to figure out whether or not like I'm getting lean with the weight. It's just, you get what I'm saying. But hopefully by the end of the week we can keep cutting down. And I think in regards to like extreme cut, we'll probably go like another week, maybe. Might even be done after this week. And kind of just maintain up the calories, because right now we're at 2,200 usually at the end of the day, which is super low for me. So maybe keep it there for probably another week or so, and then probably maintain around 25 to 28, somewhere around there. So let's go ahead and get into today's chest workout. We got boobies, so we're gonna go and train some chest. Let's get in there. All right, let's dive into today's chest workout. I'm currently outside. The last 3 videos I've been outside for these kind of overviews of these workouts. Got me a nice cup of joe, starting the morning off right. And we're starting the workout off right with some chest flies. I think it was Mike Israel that ranked chest as one of the top 2 like aesthetic muscle groups, top 2 like muscle groups that if you were to have, it's gonna stand out and like draw people's eyes to. So this and shoulders, chest and shoulders, if you're lacking in any area in those 2 areas, or if you look at your physique and you don't know what's wrong with it, but you see, okay, my chest and shoulders are lacking, then I would start drilling those, because those really bring together a physique. Once you have those, you can kind of hone in everything else. Even if you have like small arms, if you have really nice shoulders and a nice chest, people are going to be like, yeah, that guy works out, he looks really good. And then not really pay attention to the other muscle groups, especially like in a shirt. If you can see someone's delts in a shirt, that's really nice. So start out with these flies. You've probably seen me do these flies before. Um, they're really good for me because they're not really strenuous on my shoulders. So I'm not really stepped super far out from the cables. Sometimes they're even right in line with me, meaning like when I pull, the cable's right in front of me. The cable is not at an angle at all. It's just straight in line with the rack. So for me, I just like this. I kind of feel like I'm pushing two people together to kiss, if that makes sense. Kind of weird, but I don't like the normal flies. They stretch my shoulders out too much to do those. These feel so much better. I like to pre-exhaust with flies. That's what I've been doing lately to kind of save the joints a little. I pre-exhaust with flies so that I don't have to go too heavy on on incline bench press. I find when I start with incline bench press, one, it's super hard to warm up. It takes 3 or 4 warm-up sets for me to get feeling pretty good. And two, because I don't really want to do a whole bunch of weight right now. I'm kind of depleted because I'm on the cut. So if I can kind of like pre-exhaust the chest and then move on to incline and not have to go as heavy and have a good pump and really just be able to feel it out, I would much rather that. I find when I start with it, my shoulders start to ache, my elbows start to ache. So this is kind of a good way to get kind of acclimated to the incline. So I had someone help me. I've been doing 2 to 3 sets of every movement. For me, the flies, sometimes I'll do more of those flies. Sometimes I'll do like 5 or 6 because they feel so good. There's no point in moving on from them. So I'll do like 5 or 6 of the flies. And then from there on out, it's like the rest of the movements, it's like 2 or 3 sets of absolute failure. And that's kind of what you're seeing here. I've said it before. I do this set or these setup of sets where I'll do 3 normal sets to failure, and then on the last set I'll go failure, 15-second break, failure with the same weight, and then a immediate drop set. So that's kind of what I had that guy helping me with, was that first set of failure, the first and second set of failure, just making sure I didn't leave any in the tank. And then this is that final drop set. I think we got 135 on here, just really focusing on that stretch, boom, squeezing it. So that's kind of my thing. Is you'll probably see I stay pretty shallow on the incline. It just feels good for me. I think when I go super low, I start to tear up my front delts and my tris. So I just prefer to stay pretty shallow, kind of stop right here around my chin. Even on these right here, you'll see me, I stay pretty shallow, and I feel like for me that works better for me. I know Sam Sulik does that same deal. He stays pretty shallow on a lot of his incline movements. And I don't know why. I think you need the stretch, like you need some movements that really stretch you out, but I don't think you're benefiting much of the chest in this area when you're going super heavy. So if you want to go light, do some light flies, really let it stretch, and then pull all the way through. That's fine. But for me, if I'm going heavy, if I'm trying to overload the chest, I'm not going to go super deep because honestly, once I start getting higher in weight, I'll probably start lifting more and more with my shoulders instead of my chest. So I would rather stay in a range of motion where it's just my chest working, and kind of work up in that range, if that makes sense. Everyone's different. Some people really like going all the way down, and that's fine. If it feels good for you, it feels good for you. So I kind of wanted to end with another incline movement, except I wanted to bring my hands in closer. I feel like a big portion of my chest development has not only came from incline movements, but also focusing on close grip movements. So working on that top portion of the chest, but also working on kind of this inner connectivity area, like where the
chest inserts into like the sternum here in the middle of your chest, kind of the cleavage area, and I feel that a lot when I do anything close grip slash incline movement. So that's kind of the point of these. We did the same setup here. We did three sets, and on that last set we did failure, 15-second break, failure, and then a drop set. So I'm not really sure where we're at on that within that process here. And you can kind of see I'm emphasizing the close grip so much that my hands are barely even on the like handles here. But it feels so good. I kind of think of like when I'm trying to hit upper chest, I'm really thinking of just the muscle underneath my collarbone, like right underneath my collarbone, trying to build that muscle up and squeeze that as hard as I can. Because if you think about like a side chest pose, that's what that is. That's that meat right there under that collarbone. You know, you're pushing it up and forward up into your, almost like when you're doing the side chest, you're kind of pushing it up into your neck. And that's that meat. So this is kind of exactly what I was just talking about. I had done all these movements that really didn't focus on stretching the muscle out. So I decided, you know what, I need to work on that range of motion and do some just light flies. And that's what these are, just light flies, really letting it stretch out my chest, stretch my, my stance out. And you can do these at the beginning, at the end, whatever you want to do. I just threw them in at the end because I realized that, okay, I hadn't done anything really stretched out. And the thing is, I don't know who I heard this from, but if you do too many movements that aren't stretched out, especially for chest, you can start to shorten that muscle. Meaning, like, you'll probably see, like, I'm pretty hunched over a lot of the time. Like, my posture's pretty, like, inward like this. And that's, I think, from doing so many movements that aren't stretching my chest out. So lately I've been trying to emphasize throwing in at least one movement, one fly or one really deep press that kind of is lighter and just allows me to stretch the muscle out, because I don't want to be like this. Because your muscles get used to being, not in a stretch position. They get used to not having to deal with a stretch or deal with, being lengthened. So it's good to work those in. And I really don't want to be super tight. I want to work on my posture, because if you think about, if your chest is super tight, then your shoulders don't look the way they should. Especially from the side, if your chest is super tight, your shoulders are pulled forward, and then your rear delts aren't activated, and you kind of just have that slouch, sloppy shoulder look. So that's kind of the point behind all this. I'm kind of rambling, but hopefully that all makes sense. I'm going to be honest, this is probably one of my favorite posing days that I've had yet. The chest pump was absolutely insane. I'm starting to lean out, so I'm feeling really good. Honestly, don't know if I'll go much any longer. I'll probably just maintain now from here on out. And the summer cut series, I guess you could say this could be the last summer cut series. I know it was only 11 or 12 videos, but I think from here on out we're just going to start doing just sporadic videos, probably 2 or 3 times a week, I think. And just random videos, the workout, whatever. Just trying to give you guys some quality content. The series stuff is good, but I think as for the summer cut, we're pretty much done. But yeah, the chest is awesome here. And the shoulders were actually really pumped too. I think it's one of my favorite days to pose is chest day, because you have the shoulder pump, you have the chest pump, and for me, since I do so much incline movement, my upper chest is super pumped, so that side chest pose is super nice. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the chest workout. Like I said, especially starting out, if you're a young teen, chest and shoulders, chest and shoulders, chest and shoulders. Mike Guzertel said it. He said, if you look at someone's physique, it's going to be their chest and their shoulders that stand out the most. Those are going to be the first things that you look at on someone's body and immediately think that guy either has crazy genetics or he works out. And I would say those are the most important muscle groups, or most, like, I would say if someone has really good chest and shoulder genetics, that's what I'm the most jealous of. Someone could have super nice arm genetics, or good leg genetics, or good back genetics. Those are awesome. It would be awesome to have really good arm genetics, but on top is shoulder genetics and chest genetics, because they just give you that Superman superhero look, and you don't really need to have a crazy back or crazy arms. If I see someone with nice shoulders and a good chest, you're like, yeah, that guy's solid. So if you're a young teen, emphasize those muscle groups, especially for shoulders. You can throw in side raises. You could do 6 sets of side raises every other day and probably be fine. Now, obviously, don't go too crazy. You want to recover, but you could throw a lot of volume at these 2 muscle groups, especially shoulders, and see growth. And you'll probably find out like you're not hitting shoulders enough right now. A lot of people throw shoulders in at the end of workouts, and they're the most important muscle group on the body, in my opinion. So, shoulders, chest. I know I repeated that a lot today, but hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Nothing really to it. I hope you guys got some information out of this. Start throwing these chest workouts in. The biggest thing is simplifying your chest movements, simplifying your workouts in general. Just think about, okay, what area of this body part do I want to grow? And then find a movement that you like. So for me, it's I want to grow. I don't really want to grow my lower chest. So for me, it's like, okay, just a flat fly. I want to grow the middle area of my chest and my upper chest. So a flat fly, an incline press, maybe a low to high press, and then or low to high fly, and then I'm just gonna murder those out. Don't overcomplicate things, especially when you're getting into the gym. Just go in there. Pick 2 or 3 strategic movements, like 2 or 3 well thought out movements, and just drill them. And if they don't feel good, move on to something else. Don't get stuck doing a movement that you don't feel. For me, that would be like me doing, what's a good one for me? I don't really enjoy cable tricep pushdowns. So if I'm not feeling them one day, I'm not going to do them. I know they work certain muscle groups better than some other movements, but if I'm not feeling it, I'm going to go do something else. So just because someone else says that this is a better movement or this works this better, if it's not feeling good that one day, or if you don't like it in general, don't do them. Do what you like. Do a lot of sets of them. Go to failure, and you're going to grow, obviously, if you're eating and got your diet in check. So I love you guys. I can't thank you enough for all the support. We're going to hit 3K on here. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Blaine Riley Lifts. Also on TikTok. I really don't care about TikTok right now. But also on TikTok, I think we're about to hit 330,000 followers on Instagram. But subscribe here. Drop a comment. Drop something that you learned, or some advice, or even if it's a critique for me. If you like this video, just comment something. Helps me with the algorithm. And obviously subscribe, like I said. Love you guys. God bless.